What's up? Mark is obviously out. What's the situation and how he's feeling and stuff?
He's feeling a little bit better, just a little swelling hasn't gone down, and just a little bit more pain. So just being as cautious as we can as he works through it.
Is this just kind of dating back to the stuff he's been dealing with for a long time, or is this anything new?
No, it's something that he's managed well throughout the year, and just the swelling has stayed the same. So just trying to manage that.
And speaking of managing, is Malcolm going to be limited at all? Or is he
Yeah, I mean, obviously we're missing a lot of games. We want to make sure we just don't, throw him out there for long periods of time. But he's also a guy that's pretty honest about how he's feeling, and we have a range. But if he's feeling well and we feel like we need him, we'll do what we got to do to win.
You stick with Derek at point?
Yes.
You want to tell us the range from Malcolm?
No. Sorry.
It's okay.
It might change.
Coach, welcome to New Orleans. Obviously, you have one of the most potent offensive attacks out there. When you flip on the film and look at Herb Jones as a defender, what pops out to you about him?
Active hands, length, makes multiple efforts on the ball, and does a great job of not getting screened. And so, we're going to have to work to create separation and be physical in our screens to get him off the ball and to create that separation.
Marcus, I mean, he's out because of the ankle, but is there other stuff that he's also kind of resting? Is this just an opportunity to maybe kind of rest a few things with him? No. Like I said, it's something that he's managed. He's done a great job managing it, and we checked the swelling on, and it just hasn't gone down. And so just being cautious in that, and hopefully it goes down. Last 10 games, number 1 on offense, but number 6 in defense overall. Yes. What's been sample size? Yeah. What's been the difference over the last 10 games? I think just staying the course. I like our shot selection defense. I think our defensive rebounding has really improved, and with the exception of a few plays each game, I think our ball pressure and our individual defense has gotten better. And so stuff like that, you just have to work at it all the time. You have to emphasize it all the time. You got to build those habits, and I think our habits are being built there. The last piece is our shifts, and so we're doing a great job knowing who we can help off of, how much we can help, and then getting back to that defender and either contest or take away the drive.
You've talked about pickup points. When they're picking up too low, is that kind of like a tell that maybe there's something you need to change?
Yeah, I mean, I think it comes from scout. Some coaching sometimes will, look at personnel and say we don't have to pick them up too high, but then you realize that it eliminates ball pressure and physicality, and so you don't want that to wane, and so you kind of err on the side of let's be more physical and higher pickup points than what the tendency might be.
Joe, there's a difference between being injured and being hurt. Are you having to kind of save guys from themselves? Like, would Marcus try to play if you guys weren't holding him back, or Malcolm? I mean, are you learning that in terms of being a head coach? Is kind of everybody's got something that, and Taylor's got the rest.
Yeah.
But to save them from themselves as opposed to them telling you I can't play.
No, I don't think so. I think it's a conversation with them, and I trust that if they were able to play, they would. Especially, Smart and Malcolm, and really all our guys. And so it's more about just listening to how they are, listening to what's best for them, and then kind of going with that.
Joe, Sam leads the league in plus minus. Why? How?
I mean, that's a stat that I think is important, and I think a lot of it has to do with his ability to make shots, his ability to create opportunities for others, but also who he plays with other really good players, and I think that has a lot to do with our depth as well. And so I don't think there's one answer to that, but he obviously does a good job of creating for himself and creating advantages for others based on his movement, his screening, and our depth.
And defensively, how far has he come that he's able to take it?
Yeah, I mean, I think even since I coached him in summer league, I always thought he was a better defender than people thought because of his positioning and his ability to read the first drive and try to use his feet to cut off an angle. And so he's gotten better and better at that, and then just has to continue to work to defend without fouling. And he's one of those guys when he has a high pickup point and the ball pressure's there, he does a good job of not giving up angles.
Against the Hawks, you guys were up I think it was 26 with 6.5 left, and all the starters are still in. What's your threshold to saying, okay, we're safe?
I have no idea. I'm still learning. I've seen it go both ways. I think just listening to my staff, listening to the players, they do a great job of reminding me. And so I'm just kind of learning, getting a feel for that.
Is that something, obviously you want to steal minutes, got to steal minutes of rest for a long season. That's something kind of...
Yeah, it definitely is. So it's just something I got to grow at, get better at, be comfortable with, as a coach. And like I said, just listening to the staff, they do a good job of heckling me in those situations. So I got to learn there.
Coach, some other high-profile teams have dealt with drama, and their seasons are not going like your season is. What's been the key to keeping the ship afloat, keeping it at the top, even with all the turmoil?
I think the guys. I think the organization is built with good people, and the organization is built around good players, and they obviously have felt the way they felt during certain situations, but they're professional and high character enough to where it comes to basketball, we focus on one thing and we try to do it together. And I think anytime you go through a situation, any situation, you have to do it together. You got to focus on, what's most important at that time, and our guys do a great job of doing that.